Get some opportunistic company coming back and take up the exploration permit that Ambre may well surrender or whatever. So we've got to put it to bed forever, so that you know, you, the next generation, your kids, your grandkids, know that this area is mapped as an area that is excluded from resource activity. But you know, at the same time, we're encouraging the resource companies to expend their efforts in the areas of Queensland where we believe it is appropriate for mining to be developed. So that's the trade-off that we said to the resources companies is how we want our resource strategy to be implemented.
Are you talking about the 25% resources for the regions that has been activated in WA?
No, that's a different issue. That's about getting our share of the royalties, our share of the income back into regional Queensland. That's one of my hobby horses. If you get me started on that, we'll be here all day. I come from the central Queensland, and it's a constant battle to get money back for our roads, to get money back for our schools and hospitals. So that's certainly a different issue altogether, but it's one that I'm passionate about. So.
I would hope that you two are very familiar with Ambre Energy's project and
Yep.
how dirty it is.
Yep.
We feel that the project, wherever it is unacceptable. It's a dirty, horrible project. We've heard that they're doing a little bit more digging sort of up in this sort of scrubby country, not too far away from Felton. Would you consider that an appropriate place?
No, absolutely not. And that's what I was saying before. It's not just about the soil. And that, I've had people from Ambre come and tell me that they're not on the good soil. They're up on the hill. And I think last time we were here, that's nonsense. It's not about the soil. It's about the district. Right. It's about the community. It's about whether this is an appropriate place. And it doesn't matter whether you go up on the hill or on the flat. It's the same.
It's all about the radius of influence.
Yeah, exactly. But it's about the community. It's about the settlement patterns and the visual amenity of the place. And if it's up there on the hill, it still buggers up the district, for the want of a better expression. So no, it doesn't matter where they move. They will have to move outside the area that's mapped as being excluded from resource activity, and that will be. We're proposing that the mapping process will probably have 2 or 3 different areas. There will be one area where everything is excluded. There will be a bigger area where less intensive industries may be, just as town planning schemes do. But the inner downs, this area here, will unquestionably be mapped as excluded from coal mining, because that's the commitment that we've given over a period of 4 years, and it's a commitment that this is the way we're going to keep it.
Okay, yeah.
2 questions, thanks, Rob. 2 questions, Jeff. Firstly, the opportunistic mines or companies that might take advantage of exploration permits before the election, surely you can overturn that with retrospective legislation.
Yep, but it will cost us money. Okay. But it shouldn't cost us much.
But if they know you're going to do that,
yeah,
that should put the brake on it.
Exactly.
Secondly, when we bought our block of land, we paid X number of dollars for it. The exploration rights override our own property. So what have we paid the money for?
Yeah.
Are you going to address that situation as well?
Well,
because it amounts to land ownership rights.
If I could go back 200 years or 100 years, when 110 years when the state law was set up, I would like to. But it is part of the state law that all Australian states, that the ownership of the resources was retained by the state. So it is impossible. It's just not possible. What we have to do is make sure that when the state grants the right to extract those resources, it does so in a responsible way. And issuing exploration permits over areas such as this is not a responsible thing to do. So we got to get a system in place, and that's what we're proposing that fixes it forever.
Within a 50-kilometre radius of this, where we stand now, there's 14 communities at least that are affected, that will not be protected by anabolized 2 kilometre, 1,000 people.
Yeah.
That amounts, that's from 50k up here.
Yep.
It amounts to about 5,500 people, yep. And it does not include the farmers.
Yeah, no, exactly right. The 2 kilometre exclusion zone was a nonsense, absolute rubbish. It was a knee-jerk reaction. They didn't even think about it, and it doesn't achieve the protection that all those small communities deserve. So,
Is
so
there
a
any-
proper mapping process that maps the whole district and takes into account all of that, protects everybody.
Is that enforced yet?
The 2 kilometre thing?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think they're still mucking around with it.
What danger is it between now and the election? What I'm sort of looking away about.
Yeah, I don't think there is much danger. The process of applying for a mining lease, of upgrading the tenements, is fairly rigorous, and you can't rush it in that time frame.
Thank you.
John, did you want to say?
John Stanley, informally of Billowin Research Station as well.
Thought I'd seen you before, John.
Jeff, I want to thank you for your announcement. And also, I've always been extremely puzzled. In 1981, the Department of Primary Industries produced a superb set of maps showing the richest agricultural and pastoral areas of Queensland. I could never understand why, even in that day, they didn't put circles around